A very good morning to all of you. On behalf of Nagaland University, Kohima campus, and on behalf of the Department of Tinidie, Nagaland University, I take the pleasure to welcome all of you to the inaugural program of the 7-day refresher course on IPA sounds, word division and translation for State Center of Nagaland Languages, Directorate of School Education.
You know, unless you know about your own language, it's not, it is not complete. And it becomes very important how you make use of what is going on in the translating your own, your own dialect, your own language, your own tribe. I'm sure you are also trained, but it's become, and then this new education policy have, multilingual policy. So that's how do you work it out? Because our state, now as mentioned, we have how many tribes? 18? 17 tribe. Now within that also you have the sub-tribe language. Now how do you work out? And how do you make them understand? How do you implement? How do you translate? This becomes very important, and responsibility lies with you people, the language officer now. The other the officials in the department will be working according to that system. But the most important, how do we implement the education policy? It's mostly to done. SCRT will be depends on you. The MBSC, Nagaland School Board Education, will be depends on you. That's how you have to work it out. And if you make mistake, it has to be very seriously. You have to take it, because once you make mistake, the language can change. One sentence can change the whole, can improve or can destroy. That is very important. When I speak something which I don't mean, sometimes it can also create confusion or controversial. So the language is a very important component of the education system. And if you are able to mold, give proper the system language to impart a child, that's will bring improve the system also. The ethical value of the language, it's a very important. It can also enhance of writing. It can enhance to understand the culture, your identity. So this is a very important. The language is a very important. People might not take it very seriously sometimes, but it's a, that language officer. I don't know. I don't know how the people take it, but it's a very important component of the in the society.
We all know that in Nagaland, Tinidie especially has been very fortunate to have till the doctoral program level. But if you look at many of the other, including the so-called advanced or backward tribes, many of our languages need to be developed. The department has been initiating tribal textbooks written in different languages. We are still at a very preliminary stage and we are struggling, and I think it's important. The NEP envisages that children are taught in their mother language, but it is difficult because we simply are not able to just now. So I think these exercises in the form of phonology, syllabification, I think it's called, or hyphenation, I think these are important. The morphology, the word development, and especially a new challenging field is translation itself in linguistics. So many of our language officers, assistant language officers, perhaps they do not come with, all of them will not come perhaps with linguistic backgrounds. So it's also a challenge. So I request all of you to have patience also. We know that constitutionally only 14 languages are what do we call recognized by the 8th schedule, the Constitution of India. India has a host of 20,000 plus languages, dialects, whatever we call it. In Nagaland, we have 18 languages which are recognized. But again, if you look into the different what do we call tribes, there will be a lot of differences. So I think this is a huge challenge, especially when you're coming with the issue of what do we call this exercise for the Aus. And here, please do not quote me. They have two distinctive systems, and the tribe Hoho, I think they have picked up one. So what can we say? If you look at the Chakasams, they're opening up a new church because they want their language, their what do we call their own dialect to be promoted. If you look at the Rangmas, and if you look at, let us say, even the Yimkyungs or Yimchungers, recently Tikir was given recognition, but again, although I may not say the Makuri, the Chir, and again, if you look at the Sangfur, all this, so there are multi-layered issues which are here. Today we are struggling, and as a people who are still at a very preliminary stage of governance, all these things are emotive issues. When a child attends a classroom, we expect the child to at least hear the mother's language being spoken to him or her. That gives a sense of comfort when they first attend their preschool or their school. The moment they enter their schools, we're now teaching Nagamis, we're now teaching them in English, so it really scares them. So the element of language development, I think it's very important. As I said, Naga languages are very diverse, and unfortunately for a state like India, the task of developing your own language is left to your own self. And we know that, and here I want to briefly mention about our conversations with the tribal literature boards. Many of them are so committed, elderly, and the only, what do we call, real thing which we have done in terms of translation is the Holy Bible, both the New Testament and that has become the benchmark of our language development also. I'm told that poem has 10 vowels, but they want to follow only 5 vowels. So they are adamant. So literally, their Bible has been linguistically, it is completely wrong. Likewise, if you look at some of our senior members who are in the tribal literature boards, and they are the pariah of the own respective language, they are so adamant. So for us to develop our languages, the platform of linguistics, the platform of the Department of Nagaland University, this is the right platform, and I think this is one step for us to go ahead. We are also familiar that, especially in Africa, post-colonial times, in the form of Ngui Watyongo and so on, they talk about speaking in their own language. There were excellent writers in what do we call English. They were internationally acclaimed, or in the form of people like Chinua Achebe, decolonizing the mind. He talks about the need to go back to his Gikuyu language and so on and so forth. So language imperialism definitely is taking place. A language dies when there are no more speakers. That is apparent. And it is apparent that today, through the platform of the church, through the platform of the household, through the platform of all these departments which are coming up now, we are developing our languages. So it is very encouraging, and we look forward. It will be a long journey, and I see that all of you who are today going to be a resource person, you are in one way or the other taking the baby step in promoting our languages. We want to develop our textbooks, we want to develop our languages, but I can say that our hands are tied. We simply do not have resource persons. We do not have resource, but we are trying our best to pull in resources. Today is one such exercise, but the professors, those who know all these technical matters, will have to continue to guide us. I just want to conclude with 2 brief notes. As a multilingual society, and as a people who come from the cognitive society, there are a lot of issues involved, and I know I'm not trying to tell you, but for instance, Balti comes from the Arabic word, which is now an Indian word. Like veranda, that's an Indian word, but it has become an English word now. So all these words, literally, even coining words. Ur Academy has been initiating a lot of what do we call coinages of words. So if you look at the extent of our vocabulary in our different languages, it is still very low. We are told that the English language, it has about 1,70,000 words, out of which about 80 to 90,000 words are being used, what do we call, in everyday this thing. Many of our languages will not even have 4,000 vocabulary words. I'm just making a rough estimation. So when it comes to all this, I think translation plays a very important role. And also, just a reminder, when the American Baptists were invited by the British, one of the basic textbooks which they were teaching the children was Akipoba, means I have a house. So for people who are egalitarian by nature, like the Naga community, we are without hierarchies. So even our concept of a property capitalist house, we do not have. So our understanding of a property, or the capitalist understanding of what is property in the form of a building, a house, that was not there. So I believe that the British Americans were trying to teach us that. But we do have a concept of what is home. So if you look at technical linguistics, from Sassurian signify to signifier, we still have to appreciate, understand a lot of all these things which are embedded. And I will say that for people who are still not familiar with all these aspects, I think this is a huge beginning. So we need more collaboration like today's. We need to bring in more people from outside also, maybe from our sister organizations across the Northeast also, from India also. I'm happy that I was told that the research scholars are also here. We need collaboration at all levels. You will all represent different tribes. So in whatever way you can, I think it is also a social task for us to develop our languages, and also bring in international collaboration. So I'm very happy that our Kipu, Dr. Nivoto, is here. We need to sign more MOUs, and we hope that through your platform, our languages can also improve. Also, there is the need to saturate, the need to strengthen things, accelerate everything. AI, artificial intelligence, it is now ready to, what do we call, give a lot of impetus growth in the development of language. So I think this is some area where you and I are maybe perhaps not so familiar. The department on its own, we are also inviting some groups where we can use AI labs to quicken our language development processes. But I will also request Nagaland University to also look at some of these areas where you can bring in funding, bring in some labs, so that we can accelerate our growth. Because, as I said, the task, the harvest is too plentiful. And we are also at a crossroad where those who do not develop their language, ultimately, although we speak today, a lot of language will die within ourselves. This, even in my village, Kohima village, mother, we call it as Apo. In Kekhrielhoulie, they call it as Azure. So you can understand that even within any community, from village to village, from range to range, a lot of language will die, which is very sad. That's why we have the International Mother's Day. But that is just a campaign. So for us to move out of that endangered languages, I think we are quite safe today. But unless we accelerate our growth, we have a lot to lose. So thank you so much to Nagaland University, the three departments, and to our leader, Professor Nivetso. Thank you so much for this invitation and collaboration. Thank you.
It is a privilege for me to be speaking this morning, but I'll keep my speech very brief. Mother tongue is not given. It's not by choice. And as the earlier speakers have said, in our state, we have multiple mother tongues, diverse mother tongues, which we need to promote, preserve. And in this context, the School Education Department, since 2017, the mother tongue is being taught as a subject from classes 1 to 8 for 18 dialects, 18 mother tongue, and from class 9 to 12 for 4 dialects. Those are Tingidie, Lotha, Ao, and Sitsa. Now, as an assurance given in the assembly, the state government is now required to introduce the mother tongue for the remaining dialects from classes 9 to 12. And in this connection, the department, with the support of the Nagaland University, is working towards development of the textbooks, of the reading material for introduction in class 9 and above for the remaining tribes, the remaining dialects. We have also opened and come up with the State Center of Naga Languages in the Directorate of School Education. We have language officers, we have people who have expertise in the language. But we have limitations, as our advisor has just mentioned. We have our own limitations, we have our own challenges. And in this connection, we would like to make special mention of the Nagaland University, especially the Tingidie department, for coming forward to support the department, to handhold the department in developing the language textbooks. Earlier, grammar was never spoken of in the department. But now we are talking of grammar for all the dialects, for all the tribal languages. And we take this time to make mention and also express our gratitude to the university, to the Nagaland University, especially to Mimi and her team for coming forward and highlighting the need for grammar for the respective languages, for the respective dialects. Even before this time, before today, there have been a couple of sensitization programs, hand-holding programs, not only for our education officers, but even for the tribal literature boards. We are also grateful to the tribal literature boards for helping us with the course material, with the prose poetries, for supporting us in coming up with our course material for our schools. We are aware that there are many miles to go forward, but at the same time, with this kind of support from all the stakeholders, we are confident that we will be able to move forward. The National Education Policy talks about the three language policy, the three language formula, and the need to promote and preserve the mother tongue. And for a state like us, we have already adopted, in fact, English is the medium of instruction. And the mother tongue is a language, the native language, which we should also learn. But at the same time, we also have the challenges of having teachers to be placed in the schools where the languages will be taught. We have teachers, we need teachers to be qualified, But here the egg and the chicken story comes. When we have not introduced the language, studying of the language over beyond the schools or beyond class 8, then how do you get qualified teachers? But with this kind of training programs, with this kind of capacity building programs, the existing teachers who are teaching the language in their respective schools will be capacitated to teach in the schools. At the same time, we would also be collaborating with Urai Academy, the literature boards, and Nagaland University so that we also come up with certificate courses where we strengthen our teachers, where we build their capacities so that they can go back to teach in their respective schools. While talking about language, there's a need to preserve and promote our languages. But at the same time, we should also keep in mind that preservation, promotion of the language should not lead to disunity amongst ourselves. The implications of promoting the language, the implication, the sensitivity, that too we should keep in mind.
We had a very long list of learned speakers, and I presume that almost all the aspects has already been covered. There's not much to speak on this refresher course. So I would like to take a minimum, the shortest time possible. Uh, the language issue has increasingly becoming very sensitive across the India. What should be the language of the streets? What should be the language of the in the schools? Until what standard? But there is a thumb rule that the 22 languages which has been acknowledged officially by Constitution of India, and apart from that, we have Article 351A, which prescribes that till class 5, the medium of instruction should be the mother tongue. So, what is there in the mother tongue? Why there is so much insistence on mother tongue for class 5 as far as medium of instruction is concerned? Recently, I have attended one seminar in Government of India, New Delhi, where the speaker, Department of School Education, mentioned that whenever he has to think something new or whenever he has to go for a fast calculation, he always do in the Hindi. And same, it's true for me also. I never add 7 plus 5 is equal to 12. I always go for 7, 5, 12. I always go for the fast calculation. I never go for this 7 into 3 is equal to 21. I always go for 7 and 21. So why there is so much insistence on the use of mother tongue for the class 5 as far as medium of instruction is concerned? I was thinking since morning that among all the species on this earth, only sapiens has a system of going to the schools. All species has a language, but only sapiens go to the schools. The schooling system, attending schools and taking lectures, attending classrooms, is not natural to the sapiens, even for the sapiens. So, but we are sending our children to the school. So, the environment in the schools should be more and more friendly, or if not friendly, at least the least averse to the school children. So one method is to make the instruction in the classroom and the language they speak in their houses should be the same, and that is how the school children shall have more interaction with their friends, shall have more interaction with the teachers, and they will be more attentive to what is being taught in the schools, and that is how the learning outcome shall improve. So that is why there is insistence of use of mother tongue as instruction of classroom across the world. It's not only India, everywhere else there is insistence on the use of mother tongue. Now this mother tongue can be used as world standard. This is also a point of contention. I would not like to go into those details, but as mentioned by our honorable advisor, that even the use of the vocabulary and the use of languages in the khels in the village, the Kohima village is different. Now I can also recall that the state from I belong, the Uttar Pradesh, superficially it can be called a Hindi-speaking state, but this is not true. The eastern part of Uttar Pradesh from where I belong, it speaks Bhojpuri. Then we have Braj, then we have Awadhi, then we have Ruhelkhandi, then we have Bundelkhandi. So many languages in Uttar Pradesh also. And there's a proverb that in Hindi we call it कोस पे बानी बदले 3 कोस पे पानी. What translated in English that every 3 kilometer the language changes, and every 9 kilometer the water changes. So it's a land of the linguistic diversity. Everywhere we can see the language at one particular place is different from the a few distance of the place. So here also we have to be very cautious. The use of mother tongue. Here we have to collaborate. We can collaborate with a particular region so that the vocabulary can be enriched. As mentioned by your honorable advisor, that there are many languages interchange from Arabic to Hindi, Farsi to English, or English to Hindi. So that is how we make the languages richer. And here the role of our academician, the role of the Nagaland University, the role of literature boards, and the role of language officer, assistant language officer is very crucial. We are going to start textbook for class 9, and we have, as mentioned by your Commission Secretary, we have a vision to introduce textbook in 18 local languages till 12. So here the Nagaland University, the literature boards, the language officers to collaborate and develop the language. In Uttar Pradesh, we have so many languages, but we have choose only one, that is Hindi, the Khadi Boli Hindi, because that particular language has been developed taking into the pedagogy, the verbatim and the words from each and every languages, and it has a good vocabulary, a very rich vocabulary, and then it has a very scientific grammar also. So in that direction we have to move. So I believe this 7 days refresher course is going to be a start point to develop all our local languages, so that all the local languages can be enriched and we can able to introduce the textbook till class 12 as soon as possible. So I once again thank the Nagaland University, particularly Department of Tenedia, today's representative from Dr. Mimi, and the Pro Vice Chancellor of the Nagaland University, and all the resourceful person to give for their commitment, their vision, and for their time and their vision to develop all the Naga languages as per the provisions of the NEP 2020. Thank you so much, all of you.